Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, we will discuss another important topic called as connections. I am Sanjay Prakash Pradhan and I am a Microsoft certified trainer. And let us start the topic. I got many requests to discuss on these connections because this is a confusing concept when we talk about connections and relationships, right? So let us start. What about the connections we can see? So what is a connection? So Microsoft Dynamics 365 connections are an excellent way to establish relationships between almost any records in customer engagement or CRM you can think of without having to create custom relationships between the entities. Normally in Dynamics 365 we create relationships 1 is to n is to 1 and n is to n relationships, but without creating such custom relationships, can we connect one entity to another entity? Yes, we can, using connections, which is a out of the box concept, and we can use that connections to connect one entity to another entity record seamlessly without creating a custom relationship. Now, when to use connections? Connections are better in situations where one entity record looks up multiple records from another entity, or when there is a need to represent a many-to-many relationship between records. So, normally when we create an is-to-one relationship in Dynamics 365 by customizing the system, then without creating a n is to n relationship, we can create connections so that without creating multiple lookups on a single form, we can create connections so that we can establish that relationship. Now, how to enable connections feature in a entity? For that, we have to go to Power Apps and we have to go to the entity, and in that entity we have to right. Now we will discuss connections with an example, which will be a more better approach so that you can understand more. Let us say you need to relate three contact records. One contact record is decision maker, one contact record is project manager, and one contact record is advocate. So there are three contact records I need to relate from a project entity. Okay, so I have three types of contacts. There should be three contact records. One will behave as a decision maker, another will behave as a project manager, and the third one will behave as an advocate. Now these three contacts I want to associate with project entity, which is a custom record. Now, so for this solution, we can think of that we can create three contact lookups on the project entity form, which requires customization. And in the background, it will create three 1:1 relationships, right? So this will create 1:1 relationship from project entity to contact entity, right? Now also we'll make the project form messy. When we place three lookup controls on project entity form, the form will look messy, right? So without creating three lookups to place these three entities, three contacts on the project form, we can create connections. So it is better idea to create one or more connection roles and then connect each of three contacts to the project record using appropriate connection role. So when we create connections, we have to use connection roles to define what is the role for that contact with this project. Okay, so let us start the demo part. I will show you how to do that. Okay, now this is my Dynamics 365 Sales Hub application, and here I have created a project which is a customer entity. And if you here, you will check that I can create a project here. Okay, let me see. Let me give some project information. Let's say like a project. And when I'm saving this, as soon as I will save, I can see there is a button called as related connections, right? Now in this connection, this is the connection area where I can connect one record to another record without creating any relationship. Now if you click this direct connect button, it will ask that to select name of the record, to which record you want to connect. As I want to connect three as I want to connect three contact records for this entity, then I will select this type of record. Then I will go down to select contacts. Let's say Abraham. I'm selecting Abraham. So for this project, I want to relate, I want to connect this contact as a role called as decision maker. Then this is a concept called as this role. So I can click this lookup to choose a connection role, let's say decision maker. So I can go down to check if there is any decision maker available. If it is available, you can choose, otherwise you can create new connection roles. Now as I have already, as this option is already available, I can use it. Okay, now I can save it. Description, you can give description that this contact is this contact is the decision maker, right? Now once it is done, I will save and close. Now as soon as you save, the connection active connection associated view will be displayed here, right? And likewise, I can add more connections with different contacts with different connection roles. I can go here and click on this contacts. Again, I will select second contact, and here this time I will choose, let's say, advocate. If you see there is no advocate, then you can create one. Okay. Now click on new connection role. Okay. Now save and continue. Now here you have to choose, you have to give advocate. You have to give the name of the connection role, and you can choose the connection category, whether it is a business or a family. I will show you where the connection role category are created. Now let's say business, and save and close. Once I have created this advocate connection role, I can go back here and choose advocate as a connection role. Then I can save and close. Right now, for this specific project, I can connect. I have connected two contacts with two different roles. Right. Also, I can create another contact which will represent as a project manager. So I will go here and click again contact, and I will select another contact, and this time I will select role as project manager. If you don't find any project manager, then you can create new one again. 7 continue. Let's say project manager, and 7 close. Now this way we can create new connection roles, and I can associate the connection role with the connection. Then I can 7 close. Now you can see how, without creating any custom relationships, whether it is 1 is to n or n is to 1 or n is to n, I can connect with multiple contacts with a project, right? So you can think of any entity that you want to use, and you can see, you can connect uh, multiple entity records with different connection roles, right? If you don't see this connection option, then you have to enable that in your entity. If you go to, so this is my entity, you have to go to settings, and you have to go to collaboration. Here you have to check if this connection option is enabled or not. Okay. Now, if you want to create a brand set of connection roles and connections, then you have to go to here in this business management, and in the business management advanced settings, then you will find connection roles here, right? Here you can create new connection roles as per your business need. If you click, so these are all out of the box connection roles which are already given to you that you can use. But if you want to use more connection roles, you can create. For example, in family category connection role, we have child, spouse, and parent, right? Now if you want to add uh, another connection role like brother, okay, there is no relation, no connection role to display as a brother, then I can create new, and here I will give the details here, name, let's say brother, and the connection category I can choose family, and here I can give the description, and I can click save. So select record types, for which record type this connection role should be displayed. I want all entity records, so I can save. Right, now the brother is declared. Now I can use this connection role in my contacts. If I want to enable, let's say, so this is the contact, and for this contact I want to connect to another contact as a father. Then I can go to this contact, and I will go to related, and I will go to connections. Otherwise I can directly click on this option connect. So click on connect, and here I will choose another contact. Let's say I will choose contacts, then I will choose this one, Alison Brown, and here I will choose brother, okay, which I have created right now. So this is a brother, so I can save and close. Now this means this contact Adrienne Macmillan is the brother of this person, Alan Brown. So like that, we can connect one record with multiple entity records using connections. I have also, possibility that there is also possibility that in this project entity, I could have multiple lookups put to pointing to contact entity, because I am associating three contact records as a connection. But similar way, I can use custom relationships to put three lookups here to create connections, right? Some decision maker, some advocate, and some project manager. So I could have three lookup fields here, but without creating meshy lookup fields on the entity form, I can create connections easily, so that it will be easier to manage, right? Also, I want to if I want to create a subgrid to show the connections, I can also display here, right? Now this is how connection can be built, and connection can be configured. Now the most important thing is, what is the difference between connections and lookup, because both look similar, right? Connections means connecting one entity to another entity, and lookup means it's a relationship, right? One entity may have a connection, have a lookup. If you go to here, you can see, so this is a lookup entity, right? Owner field is there, and this is pointing to a user entity, right? So this is the lookup. I can use any entity, any record of the user entity. So what is the difference between this lookup and the connections? That is a big debate in every social media and every community in Dynamics. Now the first thing is, we will see connections help keep your form clean. Why? Because without creating multiple lookups to contact entity from project entity, we can create easily these connections without creating a messy and heavy form, right? Now this is how connections help to keep your form clean. For example, instead of putting three contact lookups on a form, we can instead create three connections and use a subgrid to display the contact on the form. Okay, if I want to display the connections in a subgrid here, I can use that, right? So to display in the display in a subgrid on the form, then I have to use the form editing option, right? If I'll go to here, if you go to forms, so this is the project entity, and this is the main form, edit. Now in the edit form, I can place a subgrid which will display the connection, all the connections for that project, right? Otherwise, you can navigate always using this related connections. But for example, if you want to show a subgrid with all connections for this project, then you can edit the form. Okay, let the form load so that I can put a subgrid control. So this form is loaded. Now I can go to the controls. Okay, now here I can go down and click on the subgrid. I can drag and drop here. Okay. Now once I have dragged, I can select the connections. So these are the connections, and I can see all active connections. Okay, and click this show related records, and I will click done. Okay, now this is the subgrid information. Here I can choose which table you want to display. I want to display all connections, right? So let's say so this project is connected to whom? Click the connections table and click on active view all active connections, and click on, so give a label here, all all connections. Okay, now save and publish. Now this connection and connect to, so this is the relationship of the table that will display all the connections that are connected to this project. Okay, now once it is saved and published, I will go here to check if the connections are displaying on a subgrid or not on the project entity, right? Now I have published it, and I'll go here and try to completely refresh the window to check if I can see the subgrid or not. Now this is the subgrid it is displaying, right? So this is showing here connected to like us. Okay, if I will select to connected from, then it will display all the contacts records with connection roles, right? So I'll go here and again change to connected from. Okay, and I will save and publish. So the Lycos project, this project is connected to three important contacts with different roles. Okay, so it will display also the roles here in the second column in the form. I'll go here and refresh. Right, so for this project I can see these are the contacts which are associated or connected from this project as different roles. Now this is very beautiful, right? Without creating relationships, customer relationships, we can create a subgrid and we can associate the connections on the form, right? Now the next thing is, the second thing is, so instead of creating three lookups, we can create three connections and display on the project form to display the connections, right? Now the second thing is multiple records can be connected using the same connection role, right? If you want to associate another user or another record with a different role for this specific project, also I can do that. For example, if I will again click on this related and click on connections, and again I want to connect another contact as a different role. For example, I will go to I'll go to contact. You can use user entity also, any entity you can connect this person as a role like referral. Okay, so this is the person who has been acted as a referral for this project. Then I can click on save and close. So this is a different connection role we have created. But if there is another advocate which will be connected from this project, then also we can connect. For example, click on connect and select the record. Okay. And here I will choose project manager or advocate. For example, we have two advocates for this project, okay, which are connected. Then see, so I have created another two advocates for this project connection, right? So So the thing is, multiple records can be connected using the same connection role. So same connection role I have used here. You can see advocate, and lookups do some lookups. Let's say it is the owner, right? You can see here. Can you associate multiple lookup values here? No. The lookup value only allow one option to associate. It cannot be multi lookup, right? So that we can do in lookups with different connection rules. Okay. Now, next thing is connection eliminate the need to establish custom relationship between entities. Now, when we use connections, it's not required to create relationship anymore in entities. So we can directly connect. Just we need to you need to enable the connection configuration for the entity, and that's all. Okay. So lookup is to create entity relationship behind the scene. When we create a lookup control on a form on an entity, in background it creates a relationship. It's a one is to n or n is to one relationship it creates. Now representing many to many relationship using lookups creates intersecting table, right? When we are creating n is to n relationship from one entity to another entity, in background it creates an intersect table, right? Intersect table in background. So using connections avoids intersecting tables, still enabling many to many relationship, many to many connections. So without creating any to any relationship, we can associate multiple n is to n relations type configuration with different records, right? Now this way we can see that project is one entity and contact is one entity, and we can use multiple one project we can connected with multiple contacts, and one contact also can be associated with the same project with a different connection role. For example, the same user, let's say Amos Conger is the advocate, and at the same time Amos Conger is the a decision maker, right? I can also create this. So this represents an h1 relationship. Now where the number five is, when there are multiple departments of business units using the same entity for unique purpose, a business specific custom lookup might mean nothing, right? So it may be ambiguous, right? To other business units using that entity. Using connections, eliminate the confusion caused by creating department specific lookups, right? Connection roles can be categorized by specific categories and businesses, right? When we saw here, we created connection role category and the um name of the connection role, right? So this category can be configured using customization, right? If you want more connection role category, then also you can go here and you can add more connection categories, right? You have to go to connections, go all the way, go down or search here connection, click on this connection roles, and in the connection roles you will find a connection category. So this is the category, this is the choice, right? So click on this. Here you will find all the choices displayed here. I click on edit choices. So these are the options that has been added by default, but if you want to add new, then you can add here. Let's say I want to add another category, let's say function, okay? Or let's say relatives. Then I can save and close. Now, as soon as I'll save and I will update the entity, okay, once it is added I can create new connection roles with the same role category, connection role category, right? So let us see if the new connection role category is displaying for me or not. Now this is displaying here connection role category, right? Now here I can use anything, relatives, and 7 close. And the point here is, when we are making connections, we can create connection roles and connection role categories. So doing this help with data retrieval and reporting, right? You can use also advanced find to retrieve connections for a specific record and all that, right? Now, thank you guys for your time. So I hope you are aware, now you are clear about connections and how you can build connections with entities and what is the actual difference between connections and lookups or relationships. So don't need to confuse anymore. So thank you, and I will come with different videos next time. And if you want any specific subject related videos, then comment me. Do not forget to subscribe my channel so that, and also do not forget to click the bell icon, because as soon as I upload videos, you should be notified immediately and instantly. So click the bell icon also.